Hi guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto, and today we're taking a look at a 1991 Toyota Celsior. This one here is V8, as they actually all are here in Japan. Also known as the LS400 in the States, which is a Lexus. This one here is pretty similar to the Lexus in a lot of ways, but also has some distinct differences. And this one here is the C Specifications F package, which actually means a pretty good deal of interesting stuff on the inside. And I'll get into that once I look at the inside of the car, but first off, let's take a look at the engine and the exterior and compare it to the auction sheet from which we bought this car from. Now, it's a 1UZ engine, known to be a very reliable engine. It is making a little bit of a ticking sound. I am guessing that that's due to a lifter that's just a little bit stuck, but this isn't a big problem. It will free itself up with some time and just a regular oil change, and so no issue with that. The coolant looks to be fine, the oil looks to be fine. There is a little bit of leaking oil coming from a gasket here at the top, but just, you know, pop that out, pop a new one in, and we're good to go. So not really a lot to say about this. Timing belt was changed in 2014 at 113,947 kilometers, and now the car has just under 150,000 kilometers, 147 I believe. Okay, so let's lower the hood, we'll take a look at the rest of the car. And I have to say that the condition of the car and how well it holds up over time for having 150,000 kilometers is quite remarkable. It's a very good looking car, inside, outside is in great shape, and it looks like it's going to be a good car for a good long time. Paint condition is generally good. It does have quite a few swirl marks on it, so it needs to be detailed, but it is still glossy and probably doesn't really have any areas that really need repair. Now, I parked the car over here in the shadow, and so it's a little bit hard to get the whole thing in the shot. I guess impossible from this point of view. And so pardon me for not being able to get it all in the shot there. I wanted to do it in the shadow because it's very sunny today, and then it creates nasty contrast, especially when you're looking at the interior. Okay, I'm going to go over the body section of the auction sheet now and show you what damages the car came with. And so let's see what we got here. This is a 1991 Celsior C Specifications F package. It's got the 4-liter V8. This is an auction grade 4 with an interior C. I think they're bringing pretty hard on the interior. I would probably call this a B. It's black two-tone original, which is cool because they don't do two-tone anymore. The black two-tone looks cool with the gray on the bottom and the black on the top. One thing to mention about the gray, it looks like they use a different style of paint. And you know how I said that it looks like it needs to be waxed? If you take a look at the black has some faint scratches in it, but the gray has kind of different style of scratches in it, and it is apparent. And so the nice thing about that is that the gray is at the bottom. It's not something that's going to be seen very easily. When the sun shines on it, it's actually a little bit worse because you can see how the paint differences are. Should be able to polish some of that up. I'm not sure. It is kind of a unique look to it, so have a look at that. I also want to mention this is a UCF11. The 11 means it has air suspension. The 10 is spring suspension. So you can get it with both. Right now it's at normal ride height. You can also raise it to high ride height if you want. You can also get an aftermarket air suspension controller and put it down to super slammed version on the stock suspension. It can go right down. It's pretty amazing. But I don't know about the long-term reliability of that. And the air suspension on these cars is known to be expensive to fix if it ever goes wrong. So possibly if you are going to go low with an aftermarket controller, don't go seriously low or you might have problems. Corner marker here. Looks like this is electronic, and it comes up and it shows you where your front corner is so you don't scuff your bumper. Anyway, back to the sheet here. Now, the seller didn't write anything about the car, and part of the reason for that, I imagine, is because these Celsiors have a really low value here in Japan because they have a large engine, which means expensive taxes here in Japan, and anything that's 25 years old is generally considered too old in Japan because you know, people here want everything to be brand new, it seems. Anyways, over to the report. Here it says interior is dirty, seat wear and wrinkles, steering wheel wear, aftermarket wheels. Really strange on the aftermarket wheels because they decided to size down to 15s from the stock 16s on this car. And so A nice set of 25s would be good. I mean, 18s. Various scratches, dents, shallow scratches on the car. The shallow scratches is probably what I was talking about with the body there. Underside surface rust, windshield rock chip, and then really light damage, just a couple of tiny little dents here. U1 is a dent. And the big damage is the front bumper has an AU2. I'll show you that in a sec. And an AU2 in the back quarter here. Okay, so you can see this lip part here is dented in. Okay. Other than that, the bumper is pretty good. There is a little scuff here, but it doesn't damage the light. And the hood has a few fine scratches right here. Okay, the biggest damage on the car is here. They called it an AU2, and it's on the back fender. Right here, a scratch and a dent. Okay, and we got another one here that has been finely painted with a touch-up paintbrush, but you can still see it. Okay, overall it's a pretty good body, especially since somebody's been driving this around for 25 years. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, on to the interior. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go into the front. Now the back has the special things that I was talking about. Here we have your standard memory seats with 2 settings. They're 12-way adjustable leather seats, and they are very much inspired by the Germans. So if you've ever sat in a BMW or Mercedes-Benz up until about the year 96, 97, the seats feel like that. They are sprung here, but relatively hard seats compared to what there is today. And so they are a different feel. I actually prefer the feel of this kind of seat if driving long term, because it doesn't strain my rear end that much. Some mild cracking here, which can be restored fairly easily because there are no tears in it. Okay, and one thing is the spring on this side seems to be a little bit weaker than on this side. It could just be me though. See how the whole seat moves like that? That's what I was talking about with the German seats. Steering wheel seems to be in good condition. It's made out of leather as well. Gauges are electroluminescent. They actually look really neat. Steering wheel is adjustable with electronic motors, and it has this tilt away function so that when you take the key out, the steering wheel goes up like this, and then when you put the key in, the steering wheel goes down to whatever your preset is. Same thing as the Aristo, but this one came first. 146, 450 kilometers on there. Kind of interesting how everything is electronic and then they have a manual reader there, especially since on older Toyotas they did have electronic readers. Kind of weird. Very much buttons on the front, on the dashboard here, like crazy. And so let's go through these. We have rear AC, so you can set your own AC, and I believe it's a separate compressor which is electronic in the back. And then front AC, you can set your temperature, fully automated. Fan speeds, you can differentiate front and rear fan speeds. Okay, this one here, actually they left a CD in here so you can listen to the kind of music that they liked. Sounds really Spanish, but she's singing in Japanese. Okay, so we have your disc exchanger in the back or whatever, and you've got these. This is all standard for the car, so let's put your bass up and everything else down, and then you can listen to the Spanish music and rock out. Put those all back in. Okay, this one here is for your cigs. It looks like possibly been smoked in, but cigarette lighter's never been used, and inside doesn't smell like cigarettes, but it does smell like gasoline, and so something needs to be checked out. It seems like probably like the tank seal is off or something like that, so something to look into. Brakes work fine, power steering works fine, shifter's nice and smooth and good. Here we have some extra buttons for if you want to lower the headrest of the person next to you. I'm not sure if you would ever want to do that. Heated seats for the rear. What does this do? Put the rear seats back into regular position? I don't know. The rear seats are electronically adjustable. Fender pull up. Let's see if that'll come up for us. Come on, go up. Ah, possibly broken. Okay, open this. What's this? Wet mirrors? Button for teardrops in your mirrors. Don't know. Okay, we have Thames. Thames is multi-way adjustable suspension. So what the computer does is it finds out how fast you're going and then chooses the appropriate suspension for you. For example, when you brake, it will make your suspension harder in some areas so that you don't have as much body roll front to back. And when you accelerate, same thing. And when you go around corners, same thing. So you can pick sport or regular. Here's the height. You can do high height or normal height for the air suspension. You can't do super gangster low. It's just not a setting in there. And then power transmission or normal transmission. I'll leave it on power because I don't know why you would not want to have more power. Overdrive button here. Okay, going to show you the trunk and then I'm going to show you the back seat. Now the trunk has some aftermarket stuff in it, and so the liner doesn't fit properly. Here's the standard CD player, and then it's got this, which is another CD player. I don't know why you would want to have two of them, but this person wanted two of them. So there you go. Tons and tons of room in here. It's very nice. I don't know if these taillights are different from the Lexus. If they are, let me know because I'm interested to know. Another thing, like the Supra has the key slot right in the lens. JZA80 has that. And of course dual exhaust. This is the standard exhaust for the car. Okay, now into the fun zone, and this is what you get with the C-Specifications F package. And so you have a really good looking interior here that unfortunately smells like gasoline, but hopefully not for very long. And let's go in here. So you get your own AC vents here, plus AC vents up here, plus AC vents, I think back there. I can hear something coming from back there. I don't know. Headliner is much more gorgeous than you think it is just by looking at it. It's really nice. Okay, I don't know if you can even see in here. It's rather dark. The tints on the windows are very dim. I guess that doesn't show in the video very well. Okay, so we have seats adjustable, and you can see it coming out. So you can go and lean back more if you like. So power rear seats, that's cool. Power headrests, which is cool, but not very useful in my mind. This one here is vibration in the seats. And I just turned mine on. You can probably hear it. And it's really cool to have vibrating seats in a Celsior because I don't think that the Lexus ever came with that. Oh, that's mine. Weird. And okay, I'm going back. All right. So I need to lean back, put the vibration on. We'll just leave that on for the rest. And we get a bunch of other stuff in here. Now this is where a telephone would typically go if you ordered one with the phone. But those kind of things don't work anymore. This is where the ashtray would go. This is where you can put your iPhone. Look at this, tape recorder. So you open this, you can slide a tape in here. And if you're like a businessman and you didn't have a laptop, because laptops weren't really around back then, you could record things into here, and then you could go give it to your assistant. She would type it all out. So that's kind of neat. Heated seats in the rear too. Left and right are heated. So stop, play. There's no tape in there. If you're like, for example, a rapper, you could probably lay down some beats if they just come to mind. That sort of thing. Volume control. So this is really cool, that's really cool, and these are really cool, that's really cool. And this one is, I guess, audio controls, tape, AM, FM, CD, tune, rear AC on-off mode, and your temperature, so you can have different temperature front and back. Put that down to cold. So everything you ever wanted in the back here. It doesn't come with a fridge, but the Toyota Crown actually does come with a fridge that goes back there, right where the sub is. I believe that's the sub. I don't know for sure. That Spanish music did sound really nice though. And so the funny thing about the Celsior is you get one of, even to this day, it's a modern car. The engine is fairly modern for the age. All of the things that you get with it is fairly modern. Here's the air purifier. Let me just turn that off. And seat warmers off, yes. And then the price that you get these for is pretty phenomenal because it's, I don't know, you're gonna have to check on the auction because it's these are a great value, and I think more people should really be into them. I love these cars, and you really can't, like, if you're looking for a big body car, you can't really think of anything better than this. So I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.